here's Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, in the year 2025.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So, guys, after finishing the mainline Batman Arkham games multiple times, including all the DLCs, I've finally played Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I recently finished the game's base storyline, but for some reason, I am stuck at Chapter 7. I really enjoyed the game and had quite a fun time, until I arrived at Chapter 7, because from Chapter 1 to 6, you can really get to progress the storyline without focusing on side missions that much. But after Chapter number 7, the game becomes a grinding slop, in which fighting Brainiac and his armies, collecting intel, blasting Brainiac's toys, everything just becomes so repetitive as hell. And that's the exact same reason why I still haven't touched Marvel's Avengers after finishing the main storyline. And the same situation is there with this game too. You can choose to play as Deadshot, Harley Quinn, King Shark, and of course, Captain Boomerang, and switch between them freely before entering into any mission. And later down the road, you can play as other characters, but for that, you need to keep on grinding and pour hours and hours into the game to reach higher mastery levels, which takes a lot of time and effort. Now remember guys, this is not totally a single-player game. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a live service game, which carries similar features and failures of Marvel's counterpart of live service games, that is Marvel's Avengers 8A. These two games could have been way much better if they were made as single-player titles. Sadly, this is what happens when these big AAA, or quadruple A companies, decide to make a live service superhero game. This is one of the reasons why modern gaming sucks, especially when there comes an online connection requirement. Although both these games can now be played offline without any active internet connection. Now talking about the gameplay, yes, both the melee combat system and the gunfighting mechanics feel that they lack polish and are unfinished in most areas. You cannot do a multiple button, or even a single button melee combo. It feels like the melee attacks are there just to defend yourself from enemies closer to you. On the other side, the gun combat is really satisfying, although most of the guns from each type feels almost similar when you use them to fight in the open world. Since Suicide Squad is mainly a looter-shooter focused game, Rocksteady should have ensured to add something like loot crates where players could find their favorite guns inside them, similar to things we have in games like Apex Legends and Call of Duty Warzone. Now yes, you get to explore Metropolis in its most areas, but again, don't expect many things from this open-world version of Metropolis. There's literally not a single NPC anywhere, except you always find them hanging to Brainiac's drones, where you need to shoot them and save the civilians. Apart from that, there are Brainiac soldiers everywhere, where it feels like you're already into the endgame from the very start or beginning of the game. Now talking about the graphics and fidelity. The in-game environment and the visuals are great to be honest. The lightning, the destroyed city, everything looks astonishingly stunning. At the current moment, I cannot show you the exact visuals here due to YouTube's compression and other limitations, but yes, the graphics looks great, which cannot be justified here through this video. We also have the day and night cycle feature, and the weather constantly changes while you play the game. Yes, the game doesn't have the same feeling as Rocksteady's Batman Arkham trilogy in terms of combat and traversal. I really like the shooting mechanics. However, it could have been much better than it's now. Even the melee combat feels bland and unfinished. No doubt, the traversal is fun, but it feels very limited with its pace, and that is what intervenes negatively while traveling in Metropolis. To be honest, the gameplay actually feels fun, but also at the same time, the combat system does not feel that satisfying as it should be. Now let me talk about the story premises, without giving any story-related spoiler. According to Warner Bros., this game is canon to the Arkham universe, taking place 5 years after the events of Batman Arkham Knight. But also, at the same time, it lacks almost everything that carried the Batman Arkham franchise. I mean, even after defeating the very first Brainiac and completing the Finite Crisis storyline, it still hasn't been revealed what happened inside the skull ship between Brainiac and the Justice League when they went up there. Everything gets so confused as you start playing the game. On top of that, we also get to see several multiverse elements and alternate timelines, with different other supervillains and characters from other universes. Now did the Arkham Justice League know anything about other alternate timelines and their worlds? We still don't know yet. Does Brother Eye exist in this timeline of the Arkham universe? We still don't know anything regarding them. So that's why the question arises, what if this Arkham universe is not the real one, Rather, it is some other alternate Arkham universe distinct from the original Arkham universe. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know, guys, about your theories regarding this. Now, on the PC side of things. Yes, I have this game on Steam. And so, as usual, the PC performance and optimizations, everything related to PC-related things, is not as good as it should be. The game has a huge CPU bottlenecking issue, and it also has no frame generation option in it. As you can see, the game is not utilizing most of my GPU power. The game even slows down further when there are too many enemies hovering around the screen. The game also has a frame cap of 120 FPS, where most of the time it stays below 100 FPS due to its CPU-related issues. Now, I would highly suggest that you use lossless scaling for its LS3 frame generation features in this game, as it enhances your experience at the cost of very minor input latency. You can also use this software in other games too. Also, I don't understand why they implemented easy anti-cheat for this game, which has no player versus player key elements. Using anti-cheat in co-op games is utterly disgusting in my opinion. Although you can still play the game on your Linux machine, including the Steam Deck. I really don't understand why I have to set everything to medium on a last gen 1440p card, as per Rocksteady's official system requirements chart for the game. Even I cannot play this game properly at 1440p high settings on my RX 7800 XT system, as it drops below 60 FPS more often. This further explains the level of optimizations that the game has.
Know your place, trash!
Now in the end, should you buy Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League in the year 2025? Well, if WB Games provides the game again at a 95% discount, or even makes it available at $0 in the future on Epic Games Store or any other platform, then yeah, you should definitely at least try this game, considering you've already played and completed all the 4 mainline Batman Arkham games, and even Gotham Knights, and also you love DC and its characters, so in that case, you should definitely get the game. But please, only buy the game whenever it gets available again at a 95% discount, since spending more money on this game is totally not worth it at all, unless you are a blind fan of DC Comics. And the Battle Pass system, well, I don't think that you should consider getting the deluxe edition of the game, as they only give you a Battle Pass token, which is used to claim only one season of Battle Pass of your preferred choice. And seriously, if you want this premium Justice League costume for your Task Force X, then it's fine. Otherwise, go with the game's standard edition. Now that's all, my friends. Don't take anything seriously while playing this game, okay? And guys, let me know if you've already played this game or not, and how was your experience? And with that being said, thank you so much guys for watching this video. Wishing you all a great day ahead, and I will see you in some another video.